Hey folks, want to come on here and shoot a quick solo episode. This one's going to be on Paris, specifically in the one in France. I was looking up there, and yes, there are many other places named Paris around the world, especially in the US, like Paris, Texas, Paris, Tennessee, also, but also in Canada, Russia, Sweden, Denmark, Gabon, Panama, and Ukraine, all named in homage to the famous French capital. These towns and cities are often replicas or nods to Parisian landmarks like the Eiffel Tower replica in Chelyabinsk, Russia. Hopefully, I got that correct. Example of other Parises, United States, dozen of them, including prominent ones in Texas, Kentucky, Illinois, and New York, Canada. We talked about that. Paris, Ontario. Sizable town and a ghost town in Yukon, Russia. Other in Chelyabinsk with an Eiffel Tower replica, another in Baccaria. I think I got that correct. Europe, Paris, Denmark, Paris, Sweden, Paris and Ukraine. Other locations, Paris, Gabon, Paris, Panama. So while France has the Paris, many other places have adopted the name, often to evoke French culture or history. I want to look this up. There's also, yes, there is a city in China called Tianjin, often nicknamed the Paris of the East, which is a real estate development meticulously modeled after Paris, complete with its own Eiffel Tower replica, Arc de Triomphe, and Parisian-style architecture, though it's planned community, not the actual Paris. Key details about Tianjin: location near Hanzhou in Zhejiang province, China. Hopefully that's all good. Design, it features landmarks like a third scale Eiffel Tower, Haussmannian buildings, and the Fontaine de l'Observatoire, creating a distinctly French atmosphere. Purpose: built as a luxurious housing estate. It intended to house 100,000 people, but initially struggled to attract residents, earning it the Ghost City label. Current status, but never fully reached its origins. Population goals: it has grown significantly and now hosts thousands of residents. Attracts tourists, especially for wedding photos. It's quite unique setting. I think it's still on Yes Theory. Yeah, there's a video, 1 billion copy of Paris. This is not Paris video, which, if I get a chance, I may link. Wait and see. And yeah, let's get into it. So a bit about Paris, France, we're going to talk about today. And we'll try to make it a business context. Paris is the capital and largest city of France, known worldwide for its art, history, fashion, and cuisine. It's often called La Ville Lumineuse, the city of light. Hopefully that's all good. Let's double check. Highlights: Eiffel Tower, the city's most iconic landmark, the Louvre Museum, home to the Mona Lisa, Notre Dame Cathedral, Gothic architecture on Ile de la Cité, Montmartre and Sacré-Cœur. Maybe got that all good. Artistic village-like charm, Seine River, scenic walks, and boat cruises. Quick facts: population 1.2 million, over 12 million in the metro area. So it's bigger than Dublin. Definitely bigger. And not as big as Sydney, so we talked about, but bigger than Stockholm. Stockholm and Dublin have similar size going on. Similar size with the number of people. Excuse me. One sec. The tab just changed by itself, which is very unusual. I must have pressed something. Yeah, language French, currency euro, getting around, excellent metro and bus system, very walkable. So yeah, super, super interesting. Festive highlights, just if you're going to go there in December 2025. Notre Dame is back after its grand reopening in late 2024. The cathedral is once again a centerpiece for holiday celebrations, a must-see to witness the vibrant, restored interior. Christmas markets, wooden chalets are scattered across the city. The most iconic ones right now are at Hotel de Ville, Saint Germain des Prés, and a massive market, La Défense. Illuminations over 1 million lights are currently sparkled along the Champs-Élysées. Champs-Élysées. Not Champs-Élysées. One sec. Champs-Élysées. I think I got that. Let me do this real quick just to make sure. I feel like, I don't know. One sec. Let's get this going. Champs-Élysées. Perfect. Shining from 5 p.m. to midnight daily. Rooftop skating, a new Seventh Heaven ice rink is open on the rooftop of Printemps Hasselmann, offering views of the Eiffel Tower while you skate. Current weather and practicalities. The vibe today, December 18th, is a bit cloudy with temperatures between 7 degrees Celsius and 13 degrees Celsius, 45 Fahrenheit to 55 Fahrenheit. A light breeze is picking up, making it the perfect museum weather. New transport. Europe's largest urban cable car, Cable C1, was just inaugurated last Saturday. It connects the southeast neighborhoods to the metro system, offering a unique way to see the city outskirts. Crowds, it's currently jammed. As the holiday rush peaks, if you're visiting the Louvre or the Eiffel Tower, booking tickets in advance is essentially mandatory this week. 7 minutes in. Super exciting. Let's get into the business for a second. We'll talk about livability as well. Paris is much more than a museum city. We won't get too much about economics because there already is another podcast out there, an Irish podcast on it, and which is a lot more distribution or scale than I have. It is the economic engine of France, a dominant force in the European Union as of late 2025. The business of Paris is defined by a massive pivot towards artificial intelligence, a resilient luxury market, and a post-Olympic infrastructure boom. The Paris region, Ile-de-France, generates roughly 30% of France's national GDP, about 5% of the entire EU's GDP. Number one, power players, major sectors. Paris is home to more Fortune 500 headquarters than any other city in Europe. This is including Dublin, which you talked about, which just based there at the moment, so that's why I'm referring to it. And a lot of the listeners from Ireland as well. And we talked about a bit about, we'll just continue. It's economic. We talked a bit about Stockholm, but we'll continue with Paris. It's all about the EU. It's the European Union, for those of you out there from other countries that I may have never heard of before. That's absolutely no problem. The European Union. It's just a quick one here if you've never heard of it. I presume a lot of people have, not most people, but just real quickly. The European Union is a unique and political, this is the AI overview, this is just on Google, about the European Union. It's a unique economic and political union between 28 European countries. Together they've built a zone of stability, democracy, and a sustainable development whilst maintaining cultural diversity, tolerance, and individual freedoms. For those of you that are in America, get too much into economics, but I think, yes, the EU, the European Union, the EU, and the United States have the world's largest bilateral trade and investment relationship, making the EU the US largest overall trading partner for both goods, services, and vice versa. The vast transatlantic flows of goods and investments in 2024, the EU and US trade in goods and services reached significant volumes, underscoring the massive economic integration. Key figures, largest trading partner, I think I saw that in the Morning Brew, the largest US, which is a email and newsletter you can sign up to. You get everyday business news, mainly based in the United States. I think I have a video on it, if you scroll down pretty far back on Instagram, but yeah, maybe we'll talk about that another time. We're 10 minutes in, so I'll keep going. Largest partner, the US in the EU's top trading partner for goods, and the EU is the US top trading partner for both goods and services. Trade volume, transatlantic trade in goods and services reached 1.6 trillion in 2023. Investment, the US-EU economic relationship is categorized by massive investment flows, with each economy being the other's most significant source and destination for investment. Key goods traded, major goods include pharmaceuticals, vehicles, machinery, and energy products like petroleum and natural gas. In essence, the EU and the United States are each other's most important trading and investment partners globally, dominating transatlantic commerce. Back to Paris. So Paris is home to more Fortune 500 headquarters than any other city in Europe. Its economy is built on several pillars: luxury and fashion. The city's most famous export giants like LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy, Hermes, and Kering, Gucci, Saint Laurent are headquartered here. Despite a global luxury shutdown in 2025, these companies remain the backbone of the Parisian private sector. Finance and insurance, Paris has effectively captured much of the post-Brexit banking business. PNB Paribas, I think I've got that correct. I've heard of it before, excuse me, it's later in the evening than usual, 11 minutes in. Societe Generale, hopefully got that correct. And AXA make the city a global financial hub centered around the La Défense business district. Energy and infrastructure, heavyweights in Total Energies and Air Liquide drive the industrial sector, while Schneider Electric leads in global energy management, which I talked about the other day. About the global workforce, but aside from that video, maybe talk about it another time. Technology and AI, which is super interesting. This theme about the megatrend in 2025 about artificial intelligence in the business context just keeps popping up over and over again. We talked about it in relation to Google. We talked about in episode 13 about artificial intelligence. So let's get into it again. Technology and AI. Paris is currently the AI capital of Europe. With the rise of Mistral AI and massive investments from Google and Meta in Parisian R&D hubs, the city is a magnet for the high-tech talent. Number two, the startup ecosystem. La French Tech. Paris is successfully branded itself as a startup nation. Station F, the world's largest startup campus, located in the 13th arrondissement, houses over, hopefully got that kind of correct. Excuse me, I don't want to seem like I'm insulting. We're better than not looking this up all the time. So over 1,000 startups and serves at the heart of the ecosystem. Key 2025 startups, companies like Vestira Collective, Resale Luxury, Back Market, Refurbished Tech, which is good, I've used that before, get my headphones, and BlaBlaCart Mobility are the unicorns leading the charge in sustainable business models. Viatech, this annual event, next held in June 2026, is now the largest tech conference in Europe, drawing over 160,000 visitors. Economic indicators, won't get too much into economics, just GDP growth projected at 0.7 to 0.8 in 2025, stable but cautious. Unemployment holding steady around 7.5 near historic lows for the region. Key export, aeronautics, Airbus, saffron and luxury goods. Major project, Grand Paris Express, a 35 billion plus automated metro expansion. Recent business trends, the green pivot due to strict new EU regulations. Parisian companies are obsessed with the ESG. This on Gemini, by the way. Google, environmental, social and governance. You'll see this in the urban logistics, using the Seine River for freight instead of trucks. 1 minute to get under 15. Post-Olympic legacy, the 2024 Games at the city with upgraded telecommunications, the 6G testing sites and revolutionized hospitality sector is currently enjoying record high room rates for the 2025 holiday season. The silver economy, with an aging population, there's a massive boom in age tech, and the health services centered in the Paris suburbs, which talked about. The longevity economy, we'll make it into that another day, which is a mega trend. Notre Dame on La Défense, which I may double check that. If you want to see the Wall Street of Paris, head to La Défense, hope that's all good. It is Europe's largest purpose-built business district, featuring striking skyscrapers and over 500 companies. Slightly over, maybe 15, but at least we'll get into it a bit. Just the livability scores to finish, talking about this a bit. Paris livability score in 2025 is a tale of two cities. While it's celebrated as the world's best all-rounder by some for its culture and lifestyle, it remains a challenging place to live due to the high cost and density. The city's rankings vary depending on which livability metric is used. Number 1, global rankings 2025. The Montreal Quality of City of Life survey ranked number 1. Montreal named Paris the most livable city in the world 2025, praising its post-Olympic pedestrian-friendly infrastructure, 1,000 kilometers of cycle lanes, and its unique work-to-live culture. EIU Global Livability Index ranked 16, scored 93.2 out of 100, while it scores perfectly 100 in healthcare and very high in culture/environment. It is pulled down significantly by stability, 85%, due to occasional social unrest and protests. The Renaissance World's Best City ranked 3. The index looks at livability, lovability, and prosperity. Paris ranks number 1st globally for sites and landmarks, but was narrowly overtaken by New York for the 2nd spot this year. Mercer Quality of Living, which we've got onto this a number of times, ranked 34. Mercer focuses on expats and corporate relocations. Paris ranks highly but sits behind smaller quotation marks cleaner hubs like Zurich and Copenhagen. The livability breakdown: healthcare exceptional, universal access, and world-class facilities, often cited as literal lifesaver for expats. Culture: world leading, 130 plus museums and unmatched culinary scene. Mobility improving, massive shift towards cycling and walking. The metro remains one of the world's largest dense networks. Affordability: poor. Paris is the most expensive city in the world and roughly 32% more expensive than most other European hubs. Stability: moderate. Frequent strikes and protests are a standard part of Parisian life that affects the score. Number 3, pros and cons of living in Paris, December 2025. The pros: the 15-minute city. Most Parisians can find everything they need. Bakeries, schools, parks within a 15-minute walk. Work-life balance: the 35-hour work week is legally mandated, and the city values leisure and long lunches, which is very interesting. We talked about well-being and work in the previous episode with Dr. Dale Whelan. Whelan, excuse me, that's correct. Connectivity with, when I double checked it was correct, with the TGV, and got there nearly. Excuse me with the pronunciation. There was never an issue before. Maybe it's just shooting podcasts late in the evening. It's 10 p.m. now. Connectivity with the TGV and major airports. You are a few hours train ride from London, Brussels, or the French Alps. The cons: the housing crisis. Rent for a small studio, 18 meters squared. 18 meters. What is averages around 900 to 1,100, and the market is incredibly competitive. Yes, square meters. Excuse me, got that. 18 square meters. The market is incredibly competitive. Overcrowding. Tourism is at all-time high post 2024, making popular arrondissements feel like theme parks to some locals. Bureaucracy. France's administration maze remains a major hurdle for many new residents, setting up bank accounts, visa, etc. Did you know that Paris has over 1,000, we already got into this, 1,000 kilometer of bike lanes as of 2025, a massive increase just 5 years ago, fundamentally changing how residents commute. And let's just finish this, finish on this. It's just one thing for a business context in Paris. I thought AI for me was a big one. The one thing about Paris in 2025 is the emergence of large corporate surtax and an aggressive push for AI sovereignty. If you're doing business here right now and you are navigating a landscape where the government is balancing, this is on Gemini by the way in Google, a massive budget deficit with an ambitious goal to remain Europe's tech leader. Number 1, a large company Surtax Financial Bill 2025. As of this month, the French Parliament has finalised a 2025 financial bill which introduces temporary but significant tax hike on major corporations to address the national deficit. The threshold: if your company or a group has a turnover in France exceeding €1 billion, you are now subject to an exceptional corporate income tax surcharge. Rates for the 2025 fiscal year: the effective tax rate for these giants can jump from the standard 25% to as high as 36.1% for those with revenue over €3 billion. Business impact: this is causing a strategic pause in some large-scale capital expenditures as firms recalibrate their 2026 budgets. Number 2, Paris as the AI sovereign, and that's quotation marks, of Europe. While the tax news is heavy, the ecosystem news is electric. Paris has officially overtaken London and Berlin as the AI hub of Europe. Mistral AI and beyond. Local champion Mistral AI just announced plans for the largest supercomputer in Europe. The AI Action Summit. Following the summit held earlier this year, Paris is now the headquarters for the new Centre of AI Excellence, a partnership with the World Economic Forum. Talent density: there are now over 110,000 AI specialists in the Paris region, supported by AI chairs, quotation mark, at elite level universities like Paris Saclay. Number 3, the decarbonized supply chain. I'm more interested in the AI. In December 2025, business Paris is physically, quotation mark, physically changing. The city is enforcing the new CSRD, Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, more strategic than almost any other EU capital. The send shift, quotation marks, large retailers like IKEA and Franprix brackets are now mandated to move percentage of their last minute logistics onto the River Seine using electric barges to avoid city's aggressive new anti-truck tolls. Summary 4 meeting: Paris is currently more expensive for budget business due to 2025 surtax. It remains the undisputed destination for AI talent and green infrastructure in Europe. Super interesting. Yeah, for me it's Paris is the AI sovereign of Europe. I'll leave it there. But Paris has officially now overtaken London and Berlin as the AI hub of Europe. Super interesting. I'll leave it there. 22 minutes. Hopefully you get something from it, and have a wonderful rest of your day.